Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now the very beginning of February of 2023, and that only means a couple of things. Well, we have not too long to go until we get Mando Season 3 on March 1st, and also we're going to be getting more announcements about the Ahsoka Tano series later this month, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be getting a lot more teases about what's to come this summer on Disney Plus for the Ahsoka show. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing that a lot of fans have been very much, eager to see is exactly how Jon and Dave are about to set up this massive Star Wars universe, starting off with Mando Season 3. Basically, the third season is really the very beginning of how Jon and Dave have ultimate freedom from Kathleen Kennedy and her creative control, and how a lot of that is really going to show in the upcoming, episodes of Mando. Now, already, guys, I posted this on Twitter. They have an amazing poster for Mando Season 3 in which he's holding the dark saber with Grogu in the background inside of the bubble cockpit on the ship. It looks amazing, well designed, and it kind of just fits in with that classic Star Wars feeling. But anyways, I digress. What's really going on here is what Mark Hamill and Hayden Christensen recently signed when it comes to a massive Star Wars deal and what it means for the future of the franchise, themselves as actors, and their actual characters that they have portrayed over the years, and what the fans can really expect to see. So, we're going to be diving into exactly what these deals are that both Mark and Hayden recently signed, so let's get right into it all, because it's a very complex situation that eventually, thankfully, turned out to be a great one. Now, right now, Mark Hamill and Hayden Christensen are gearing up for a very big future in the very big Star Wars universe, led by Jon and Dave, that's going to take many stories from Legends to be adapted in live action. Now, just recently, both Mark Hamill and Hayden signed a very big Star Wars deal just last week that involves something wildly exciting for the company. Hamill recently signed a 10-year contract with Lucasfilm to take part in many of Jon and Dave's projects for new Star Wars shows and movies, to return as many variants of Luke Skywalker and of course of Anakin throughout the ages for Mark Hamill, and to be of great help in making Luke Skywalker possible again for the franchise. A Luke Skywalker-focused series is now entering into pre-production as a phase, after being in early development for well over 2 years, that is dubbed simply as Star Wars Jedi Knight, that will focus on Luke and the friends and family around him and the conflicts that they face. So let me just stop here for a second. We talked about this multiple times. If you have not been here, you may have missed it. But there is a Luke Skywalker-focused show called Jedi Knight. That's the dub, by the way, that's not the official title, in the works, and it's gonna basically strip a lot of story elements from the video games of Jedi Outcast and kind of placing that into the form of live action. And there's a lot of things that are being poured into this. A lot of notes have been created by Jon and Dave, a lot of storyboards already as we speak, because they are, after all, trying to get this thing rolling out as fast as possible, but while also taking a lot of time on it. That's why they spent 2 whole years on this for early development. They knew that since Luke came into the picture in Mando Season 2, they had to do something with that, and that's exactly what they're doing. So it's not just a Luke Skywalker show per se, but it's a Luke Skywalker focused show about himself, quite possibly the Jedi that he trains, since it's going to be about the family and friends around his life. Anyways, moving on to Hayden now. This is where things get very exciting. Now, Hayden, on the other hand, also signed a significant Star Wars deal right now. That was a 5-year Lucasfilm deal that will involve Hayden to reappear as Anakin and Vader again multiple times in different shows. Hayden's contract is likely to renew another 5 years if the projects he works on are proven to be successful to the audience and to Disney as well. Both Hayden and Mark also met up with recent meetings about a special scene that Jon and Dave are planning for Mando 4 to bring in a reunion between Anakin and Luke like never before, for the first time in live action since Return of the Jedi. This deal will also involve some voiceover work for animated projects for both Hamill and Hayden. So let's put things clear here, alright? Basically, Mark Hamill got a 10-year Star Wars contract with Lucasfilm to really kind of help out with bringing Luke Skywalker to life on the set of Mandalorian and other upcoming shows, etc. Hayden got a 5-year deal with the opportunity to get another 5 years. And that's going to be very likely since it's John and Dave's working of course into bringing Anakin to life again as well as Vader. And we already know that Jon Favreau has even put it out there that he's very excited to bring his own iterations of Anakin and Vader into the story. And it really makes you wonder, when you look at that Mando Season 3 trailer, is there hype behind that door? And you guys know what I'm talking about. It looks like we're getting yet another, technically here, another hallway scene where you're going to have Anakin busting through that steel door and taking down those Jedi. It's very possible. That Order 66 flashback that you guys saw in Mando Season 3, it does match up with one of the storyboards that we talked about from Mando Season 3 about 9 months ago, where they did have Anakin in a cloaked robe with a blue saber in one of the actual storyboards. So it could very well have something to do with that. I'm very much, optimistic that it is. So anyways, the next thing that I do want to actually cover here is that, given that Mark now has a 10-year contract with Lucasfilm, and Hayden has a 5-year one, that's a lot of Star Wars, and some fans may be a little too overwhelmed about that, and I can almost, sympathize with that. I can understand that. I really can. But it's all about quality control. If they can put out quality content and it's really well made, I'm not going to care how much is coming out. If it's really poor content, which I don't think is going to be the case, to be honest with you guys, I'm not over-exaggerating, I don't think that's going to be the case. Since it's John and Dave, I think that you're going to be very happy with Mando 3 and Ahsoka. And I'm not just saying to, try and, keep Star Wars alive at all costs. I'm not like that. I'm literally optimistic and very faithful in John and Dave and what they are doing with Mando 3 and Ahsoka and what we have been hearing of what's been going on behind the scenes. Everything is coming together. John and Dave really want to do something very special for the fans from 2023 and beyond. They themselves even guaranteed that they're not over-exaggerating with the surprises that they have in store, and fans are really going to be ecstatic over that. So anyways, we know that Mark Hamill has been a lot more talkative, and he's been more direct with the fans. So was Hayden Christensen. He's been unveiling more things too. And you know what? At the end of the day, I think that the Skywalkers, they really are the heart of Star Wars. John and Dave realize this, but at the same exact time, they realize that they also have to focus on Legends characters and new characters also. And that's a good balance. John and Dave know how to treat Star Wars. If it's too much or too little, they know what's in between and what's right in between. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Fill me in on what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.